Good morning from the heart of New York City. This is Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast dedicated to one thing to learn and apply to eat better daily. I'm your host, Angela Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist, your personal health and wellness coach, your personal fat loss guru, and just someone with a lot of passion for healthy eating, healthy food, anything and everything we put on our plates and in our mouths to feel good, to have more energy, to look good and perform amazing on all levels. That is, of course, if we know what we're doing and if we put the right things on our plate, right? Today's episode is dedicated to a few articles, a few questions, a few comments I got over the last couple of days, last 2-3 days. So there are a couple of articles that are circulating on the internet and some really reputable editions like New York Post, for example, the article about carbohydrates and lifespan, or another article that came out from some also reputable doctor about coconut oil and how it is poison and how you should eat and consume instead vegetable oils that actually have nothing to do with vegetables, but instead made of different plants like canola plant and canola oil accordingly. Well, anyway, the article is all about how coconut oil is the worst thing you can eat and you should consume instead things like canola oil or sunflower oil. So let's address this article first, guys. Coconut oil poisonous because it has saturated fat? Well, first of all, there is no correlation between saturated fat, the amount of saturated fat we eat in our foods, and the amount of cholesterol in our blood, or the health span, or any kind of health biomarkers. There is no correlation between consumption of saturated fat from any kinds of food, actually, well, except for maybe processed food, of course, in health and heart health and coronary health. Even US dietary guidelines don't tell you anymore, for example, to control your dietary cholesterol, because there is actually no data saying that dietary cholesterol has anything to do with cholesterol in our arteries that clogs our arteries, that was thought before caused heart disease and all the problems that come with it. So coconut oil poisonous because it has a lot of saturated fat? Well, a lot of coconut oil, most of coconut oil is consumed in Southeast Asia, and they do not have have history or any records of being the first on the list for coronary or heart disease, even though they consume coconut oil almost in everything they eat almost every day since like forever. Coconut oil poisonous, it's just such a nonsense. And again, there are no studies, and there has been studies done on coconut oil, on saturated fats, on cholesterol, about the relation between saturated fats and cholesterol, and again, heart disease, coronary disease. There is like no correlation whatsoever, and this article is pure nonsense. Actually, there have been studies though on vegetable oils like canola oil or rapeseed oil, like sunflower oil, and other industrialized oils, meaning the oils that are made by with high temperatures by industrial processing, versus olives like olive oil that you get when you just squeeze the olives with the press without any high temperature or other industrial ways of processing. So eat your coconut oil, guys. Eat a healthy diet. Don't eat processed foods. And you'll be healthy. And do not eat vegetable oils, please, please, please. There has been, again, a lot of studies about vegetable oils and how that actually contributes to problems with arteries and with heart, and that raises our triglyceride levels and increases inflammation. So don't believe everything that is on the internet, and especially don't believe the opinion of one person. That person probably just wanted to get some publicity, and that's about it. Just check the studies, check the recent data, check other resources, and you'll be much better off. Another article that was actually New York Post, and a lot of people ask me about that, how they found out following for, I forgot for how many years, but for like 20 years or something, people who reported that they were consuming the diet high in carbohydrates, and then the other group was consuming diet where they had consumed more of their calories from fats, and people who consumed more carbs outlived the people who consumed more calories from fats. But then I went, I read the article, and I dug deeper into the research behind that article, and of course there has been no word whatsoever about the quality of the diet of those people. So in theory, you could be consuming high fat processed food diet, and then somebody else could be consuming lower fat processed food diet or non-processed food diet. And when it comes to processed food, guys, of course, the less of processed trans fats and saturated fats you get in your diet, usually the healthier you are. But that only goes to processed foods. And people usually who consume high fat, high carb diet, processed food, they do not live long, and people who compared to them eat lower fat diet, they usually have better quality of diet overall, and that's why they live longer, not because restricting your carbohydrates, for example, still being on a healthy whole food diet, that does not cause you to live shorter. There has been no studies about a long term of low carbohydrate diet, healthy low carbohydrate diet. So if we are really honest, we don't really know what happens long term, but this study, this publication was analyzing what people reported, and then they counted the calories and figured out that one group consumed more calories from fats, the other group consumed more calories from carbohydrates, disregarding the quality of the diet that people were consuming. That is never mentioned anywhere. And then they make a conclusion, again, to just make the views, the clickability, to make it increase. They made this conclusion that low carbohydrate diet caused people to die younger. That is like really outrageous conclusion based on nothing. So eat whole food diet. Restricting your carbohydrates really helps with your weight management, but also you get more stable energy, and it's proven in a lot of people, in a lot of studies, to decrease inflammation when your diet is healthy and low in carbohydrates, and it helps with a lot of gut issues. So guys, again, always dig deeper, read deeper, see what kind of studies are behind any publication, or ask people like me who have time and passion and whose job is to dig deeper and know what's going on there. I also got a question related to that saturated fat and fat in our diet thing. Someone on Quora asked me about how people on a ketogenic diet that is high fat, low carb, medium or medium protein diet, how do people consuming that much fat in their diet do not have coronary disease, heart disease, and stay healthy with so much also cholesterol in the diet, yada yada yada, all this high fat stuff. How do people manage to stay healthy on the diet? And again, according to recent research and studies, there is no correlation between the amount of healthy fat, of healthy saturated fats that come from whole foods, healthy foods products. There is no correlation between the amount of fat consumed from whole food healthy foods and the heart disease or inflammation or any kind of biomarkers that indicate the worsening of health. So basically, again, no correlation between bad health or ill health and the consumption of saturated fats, cholesterol, and fat in general from healthy whole foods. And to kind of finish off this more of a serious episode about all the studies, all the articles that have been circulating around lately, I want to finish it with a kind of like funny, well, it was funny for me to read this question. So again, question from Quora, how many milligrams of L-carnitine, L-carnitine is amino acid, should I inject into my belly fat to reduce it? That was funny for me because I talk about L-carnitine and I recommend it to people who want to lose the most amount of fat, and a lot of people get the wrong idea why you use and how you use L-carnitine. So L-carnitine is amino acid that your body needs when making energy out of your own fats or any kinds of fats really, but hopefully of your own fat if your goal is to burn and lose your fat. So if you don't have L-carnitine in your system, your body cannot effectively burn fat for energy. That's why supplementing with L-carnitine might be a good idea, especially if you do not eat a lot of animal products and things like beef that is high in L-carnitine. So you want to, again, consume L-carnitine as a supplement if you want to help your body to burn fat for energy more efficiently and effectively. But if you're but first you need to put yourself in a state to burn your own fat with certain dietary changes, with lifestyle changes, with exercise program, all of that. And when your body starts to burn fat, then it needs L-carnitine. This is first thing you want to know about. And then second of all, you do not inject L-carnitine. You take it usually in a pill form. Sometimes it comes in a powder form. You add it to your drinks or like however you want to consume it. I just usually add it to workout shakes. It has no flavor. It just a little bit of more powder in my shake. So again, L-carnitine does not burn your fat, does not burn your belly fat, no matter where you inject it. You consume it to help your body to effectively and efficiently burn fat, your own fat for energy. But first you need to make your body burn that fat by dietary changes, by lifestyle changes and exercise program. So to recap, dietary fat from whole food, healthy whole food sources, saturated fat, cholesterol has nothing to do with heart health or has non-negative effects on your health. That's why even US dietary recommendations deleted cholesterol, limitation on cholesterol for dietary guidelines. Consuming diet low in carbohydrates is not correlated with lifespan. There has been no studies done properly on the quality of diet, on the amount of carbohydrates long term. So low carbohydrate diets are very little research still. So don't believe that nonsense that a low carbohydrates diet for some reason can make you live a shorter life. That is silly. And take your L-carnitine in a pill or powder form to help your body to burn fat for fuel. That's it for today, guys. If you have any questions, shoot me an email to Angela@createyourself.today. Angela@createyourself.today. I'm always more than happy to help you to design your perfect personalized nutrition, meal, fat loss plan, so you finally start seeing progress instead of doing a lot of work seeing no progress. So, and thank you again for listening. Love you all, guys. And till next time, eat better daily.